Bishop working. Here comes the 17 Big John Gerloff. And the R1 of Lee Dunn. Lee up from the tail, working hard. Here comes your race for the front, off turn number 4. Nelson, 86. Todd Bishop working his way into the front. Here comes Lee Nelson back on the high side, reclaiming that lead. A dandy race up front, the 26 and the 86. Gerloff still running third. Dunn and Tim Baker, your top 5. Bishop back to the point, working in turn 3. Here comes Nelson, back on top in that 26 car, working. A dandy duel up front. Lee Dunn now working into third, working down the back chute, working on lap number 6. Here comes the race, back in the front, Nelson. At Nelson racing number 26. Lee Dunn up from the tail in that Terry Reagan J&J, now running second. Nelson back underneath with a hole shot, top 2, a white flag. Todd Bishop holding the point. Lee Dunn working on second. Nelson slipping to third. Gerloff working on the bottom. Your leader off the 4th turn. And winning your 5th heat event out of Harrisburg, Illinois, Todd Bishop. Running second with nice race up from the back of the pack, the R1 from West Plains, Missouri, Lee Dunn. Let's keep an eye on him, ladies and gentlemen. Could be one of the best heat races of the evening. Randy Martin working to the high side, up on the cushion. Gary Lee on the bottom, working through. Here comes Fran Bruns. McCarl and Estes working hard. Here comes on the outside, working on the high. Randy Martin. Gary Lee on the bottom, McCarl on the top. Looking for the quick way around, the big half mile. DMC Motorsports number 14, working the top side. Gary Lee Mayer, working down the bottom, working through the middle, back to the bottom. Terry McCarl, working on third. Tommy Estes 4th, the race at the front, the 14 and the 11X. Gary Lee Mayer works his way back to the front. Randy Martin running second, coming off the 4th turn, working the high side. A dandy duel at the front of the pack. Terry McCarl still running third. Gary Lee scrubs off a little speed. Randy Martin closes the gap ever so slowly. Watch him off turn number 4. Mayer and Martin. Working on lap number 6. Lap traffic directly ahead. How they're going to negotiate. The 55J in the 11X group. He's got to slide to the top. Here comes Randy Martin taking a long look. Working on the cushion. Breaking off the 4th turn. White flag on this circuit. Gary Lee back to the bottom. Randy working the top. Terry McCarl trying to make a race out of it as he shoots down the back chute. Working, turn 3. Gonna be a blanket finish. Gary Lee Mayer, Randy Martin, Terry McCarl. Finishing second and qualifying for tonight's A-Main, the 14, Randy Martin. Sitting right behind him, Breezy Whitworth outside out of Worthington, Missouri, and Brett Golick, the Golick Racing American Challenge. Keep an eye on him, ladies and gentlemen, working to the white line. The dude from Dover with a shot on the bottom. Williams, Whitworth, all working down the back chute into turn number 3. Danny the Dude Lasowski exits the 4th turn in the lead. Kenny Williams running second. Breezy Whitworth third. On the bottom, Steve King, the 65 out of Jetmore, Kansas. Now working on Breezy for third. King dropping to the bottom, working off turn 2. Kenny Williams still holding second. Breezy fourth, your leader, working off turn number 4, the dude, Danny Lasowski. King with a move on the bottom. Steve King out of Jetmore, Kansas, and now running second. Kenny Williams trying to work back in. Breezy running fourth. The dude from Dover exiting the 4th turn under the flag stand. Danny Lasowski working the Ray Lipsy Schnee into turn number 1. Steve King and National Parts Peddler. Mike Short Welding Gambler running second. Kenny Williams still hanging third. And Breezy running 4th. Breezy tagging the front wall, losing a little speed. Bring him out the 4th turn. Looking for the white flag, the dude from Dover. Here comes Steve King. Darren Pittman working his way into 4th and winning out of Dover, Missouri, Danny the Dude Lasowski. Finishing second. How about a nice round of applause out of Jetmore, Kansas, car number 65, Steve King. Working to the white line. Long look, Norm Wadley. Randy Anderson. Here comes the Wolf on the outside. That Gary Swinson, 24B. Working the high side, Doug Wolfgang. Wolfie working up, sliding back to the cushion. Randy Anderson, Doug Wolfgang, Matt Morrow, and Dave Van Hookelum. Randy Anderson, the Clarion, Iowa youngster. Doug Wolfgang, the Sioux Falls, South Dakota veteran, working turn 3. Under the scoreboard, off turn 4, Wolfie working back down to the bottom. Working underneath Randy Anderson, Doug Wolfgang. Wolfie into the lead, Anderson running second, Morrow, Van Hookelum. The Wolf down the back chute. Turn 3, Randy Anderson, Matt Morrow, Dave Van Hookelum, and Wayne Johnson. Van Hookelum motoring by the 2M of Matt Morrow. working off turn 4. Being chased by the youngster, Randy Anderson. Van Hoekelum running third. Matt Morrow and Wayne Johnson, your top 5. Wayne Johnson moving by Matt Morrow. White flag on this circuit for Doug Wolfgang. Van Hoekelum taking a long look at Anderson. Your race for the final transfer spot. Doug Wolfgang working off turn number 4. And winning your final heat event, Doug Wolfgang. Finishing second, the youngster from Clarion, Randy Anderson. Holding down row number 1, Curtis Thorson, the car number 98, and Tim St. Arnold, car number 47 in row 2. 6 laps, 2 to tag, the tail of the D. Kenny Lang. And Tim St. Arnold. St. Arnold up on the high side. Kenny Lang working on the bottom. Working on lap number 1. Six laps your distance. Top 2, tagging the tail of the D. St. Arnold at Gilly Sonner, Casey's Maxim. Kenny Lang out of Lincoln running that Stevenson chassis. St. Arnold halfway. Here comes the 98 of Thorson running second. Curtis Thorson working on the bottom. St. Arnold slowing into turn 3. Your leader off the throttle into turn 3. Smoke coming out of that Casey's 47. That puts Thorson and Lang in your battle for the top spot. Kip Anderson in the 41X running third. Working, looking for a white flag from Norm Wadley on this circuit. Thorson and Lang. Kip Anderson. And Chris Tice. Looking for that checkered flag. Down on the bottom from Newton, Iowa, Curtis Thorson. Well, the 2 to tag, the tail of the D, will be the 98 of Curtis Thorson, your winner of the E-main event. And he was chased to the checkers by car number 59 out of Lincoln, Kenny Lang.
Eight laps, 2 to tag the tail of the C-main tonight. Good to have everybody on the ASCS 96 Tour. We're green, your D-main underway up front. And welcome in 16H of Jeff Haynes. Running in the number 2 spot, a Park Machine, Frank Miller and Company 6W, Randy Wagler. And only the top 2 are going to go to the tail of the C-main. Jeff Haynes on Warwick Wood Products, Showcase Ice Cream, 16H on in front. Running second. That Client Agency Auto Sales, Screamer Express Lime Service, 6W, Randy Wagler. Running in the number 3 spot.